Hey, Bees, you want to hear a joke?
Sure, bro.
Okay, guy walks into a bar, right?
Okay.
And he gets like 6 shots,
Damn.
right?
What is he drinking?
Listen, he's drinking straight Patron, okay? Bartender
damn.
pours him one of the shots, right? Hands it to him. Guy says, no, I need all 6.
Right.
Okay? He takes all 6. Guy goes, what are you celebrating? He says, my first blowjob.
Damn. Okay. That's
Bartender says, I'll go ahead and pour you one. He said, nope, 6 of them don't take the taste out of my mouth. I don't think anything will.
okay. What?
The experience you're about to have
Will be one of an authentic kind.
To elaborate,
is about creating strength in numbers.
Finding common ground.
and supporting each other.
Chocolate milk.
You know there's chocolate milk in the refrigerator, right?
Easy, when you take your time with something, it tastes better every single time.
Man, shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to hear
I'm
that
not
shit
saying I don't
every
want to hear it.
day.
I'm just saying that
Like
it's
that
good
positive-
advice.
Man, fuck out of here, bro.
Welcome back to Chocolate Milk. I'm Dave,
I'm busy.
and this is going to be our second episode. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Got a lot of love over the past week.
Yeah, for sure.
It's been a good time.
Good love. Good love.
So we were discussing, what are we even going to talk about this time?
Right.
We want to stick to, standard issues and stuff. And so we figured, why not? Let's talk about this pro-choice versus pro-life thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's get into
I know
that.
a lot of different people have different perspectives on it, I guess.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, I mean, shouldn't it really be it's a life?
So what you saying? When you say that, what are you saying?
I mean, I don't know. Murder is not legal. So, I mean, why would it be okay to, take a living thing out of somebody's stomach? I mean, I understand the fight of it's not technically living because it's not viable on its own. I mean, I
Right.
understand that. But I feel like there's plenty of other things, plenty of other options.
Adoption.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel as though if you can't or you don't want to, take that option, that adoption, is the best way to go. I'm adopted, so I feel as though being adoption is the right way to go. I mean, I had a good life.
Yeah, but don't you think there's plenty of kids out there that go through adoption and have a horrible life?
You take that risk. People are going to be people.
Yeah, but should a child have to take a risk?
You're right. I mean, a child shouldn't take the risk. I mean, nobody wants bad things to happen, but at the same time, you want them to have, you're taking a chance for them to have a better home. So, if there's just a risk you're just going to have to take. I mean, it happens.
See, I totally disagree. I don't think that a risk is something you do with a child. I don't think children should be taking risks, period. And I also think that sometimes it's irresponsible for adults to be the ones putting the children in the position to have to take a risk. No, don't get me wrong. I appreciate social workers and stuff, right? But I don't think that there's enough information about the people they're going to, because if there was, we wouldn't have these situations where, you got kids who get sexually abused, they get beaten,
Right.
you know what I mean? They grow up and then they end up doing the same type of stuff. I mean, I don't think that's right.
I mean, being a social worker, you're just doing your job to find this kid a new home. That's your job. I mean, you try your best to search the background and know the history of these people, and at the same time, they could put on a front or they could really be this nice person. But when I say take a chance on the kid, it's just like an opportunity you can see better for this kid. So you're gonna try to find it a better home. Luckily for me, I found a great home, but I just feel as though I don't agree with everything that happens with social work. I don't feel as though everything is good in that system. There is evil there, but I feel as though taking a life.
But like I said, I mean, I'm right there with you. I don't think, in my own personal opinion, I'm really tossed up in the air. I don't have enough facts. I'm not, the most knowledgeable on it. But I understand that people say, well, it's not viable. It's not really a thing yet.
Right.
I get that. I understand that. And it's inside of a woman's body, her body. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I understand all that. But the other side is, well, like I see you. There are alternative things that can happen.
Good things.
Right, exactly. There are alternative good things that can happen,
Right.
and I think it's too much of a risk for me, though. I don't know if it's a risk you should be taking. But then again, to deny something life entirely,
That's my thing. You made the choice.
Right.
This is what it is now.
I agree with that.
I see what you're saying. You know, it's to me, it's just though I couldn't do it.
Right.
I couldn't
Right.
do it.
Right. Now, see, okay, but then that opens up the book like this. Okay, so this is where it always ends up going. It's like, okay, well, what about rape? Right? Do you think a woman who's raped should have to go 9 months knowing that she does not want anything to do with the guy, obviously, that raped her,
No,
but
she
but
got
she's gonna.
raped.
But here's the thing: if she has the kid and keeps it, she has to deal with the fact that she has a child who's got half the DNA of a guy who fucking raped her. Like, no, I don't think that's cool. No.
Don't agree with that. I don't.
You don't think that she should. You don't agree with what? That she's gonna have to deal with that. She's gonna have to.
No, what I'm
see
saying
that.
is like she got raped. I don't feel like a woman should have that child.
Right. But
Yeah.
see, there are people out there that are like 100% pro-life, and they say it doesn't matter. You know, you have the child, you put it in adoption, or you do something like that. But look at how filled up adoptions are.
Yeah, it's
You
a
know what I
lot.
mean?
It's a lot.
There's a lot of, and I hate to put it like this because it almost makes, when I start thinking about adoption, right, the first thing that comes to my head is like PETA, like animals. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like people go and adopt an animal. And they go and, just like you were saying, they put them in a good home. Like when I look on Facebook posts like, hey, I'm selling my cat or whatever, or I'm getting rid of my cat, it needs to go to a good home.
Right.
Like I don't look at kids like that.
I see you. I
Like
see you.
kids should not be, you know what I mean? And the thing is that the people who like, the places that get rid of the cats and stuff, do they look into like where they're putting them? Like you can't go and rescue a pit bull, right? And have been charged for fighting pit bulls or something.
Yeah, true like that.
You know what I'm saying? So they do enough investigation into
You can't
getting rid of an
can't
animal.
get a pedophile and get a kid. You feel me?
Well, I'm sure you can.
They
but I'm
check your
saying, like,
background and stuff.
okay, what if he's never been caught? I mean, I guess just like if a pit bull guy never got caught. But,
Exactly.
But like, still, I don't know, man. Just it weirds me out. It weirds me out that you're going to put a kid in a situation where they don't know the two grown adults, and a kid's brain doesn't work like an adult's. And a kid, well, some kids, but most kids, if they go in a situation, right, they're not keen enough on the things to look for to see if, like, this isn't a good home.
Well, I think about it like this too. What if I didn't get adopted? What if I was just in the system
Right.
forever until
Right.
I turned 18? And
Okay.
then from then on, like, what do I do now? I've never had a family. I never had structure. So I always think about it like that too. Like, adoption could be the best thing for a child.
Right.
It could be.
Right. Okay, well, let me ask you this then. Okay. What is, and then this is a wild scenario. So what's worse here? Okay. Having the child and putting it into the adoption agency, right? This is just a story. And let's say that this kid goes to a home, he gets abused and everything, and he gets real messed up in the head, and then he becomes older and he abuses people or becomes a serial killer or something and is horrible, right? Or just having the abortion way before all that happens. You see what I mean? There's like a toss up there. There's like,
It's life. You never know.
but that's a lot of risk,
I
man.
feel you, man.
That's a lot of risk. Because that's kind of that's the only way I can see like the silver lining, I guess, between the two sides. It's
Right.
like, okay, I understand what you're saying, but I also understand where they're coming from.
True.
So it's like, it's a real big toss up. That's why, in my personal opinion, when it comes to pro-life and pro-choice, right, it should be totally up to obviously the people who are going through the scenario.
Right.
Which, when I say that, and this is not a popular opinion, but I mean the man too.
Of course.
I do 100% believe that if a woman wants to have an abortion, that man should also be some part of the conversation. I understand it's her body, but it's also his DNA.
True. It doesn't always happen like that, but true.
Well, just as easy as I can put it, my dad had a friend, and his girlfriend got pregnant, dude. She was pregnant for like 6 or 7 months. Out of nowhere, she went and had an abortion, didn't tell him she was going to do it, and then that was it. And the rest of his life, when he would get drinking and stuff, that's all he would talk about.
Right.
I remember him being at my house, and he would sit there and have a few beers or whatever, and
was
then
heavy on the brain.
it would go straight to that. It would go, oh man, that bitch took my kid.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that can mess people up. But I understand where women are coming from. Well, they don't have to go. The man doesn't have to go through any of the pain or the labor. Or
This is how I feel. When you make that choice to lay down with somebody, you get pregnant. Depending on the situation, you may have to have an abortion. You never know. It could be medical. It could be just things didn't work out. Whatever the situation may be.
100%. When it comes down to picking between the wife or the child,
Right.
that I think that's got to be one of the hardest decisions in the world. So like who at the end of the day, who should be making that decision? I mean,
I feel like both people should be making that decision.
right, so it shouldn't be in government at all.
No.
That's what I never understood.
No.
Why is this whole pro-life and pro-choice thing in the government? Why
Something
are
else they can have control over.
Right, but I mean, it works on both sides. Like, for example, like a lot of pro-life people get upset because they don't want to have to pay taxes that go to like Planned Parenthood
Right,
if
right.
Planned Parenthood is going to be helping people get abortions. To them, it goes against their religions or
Right.
anything else, but they're making it a government, thing to where you have to pay for it. I understand that because there's a lot of things I feel like, you know what I mean, the government makes us pay for that I don't necessarily want to pay for.
No, of course.
So I understand that viewpoint. But at the same time, I understand that there are females out there who, where if they had a child, that child's not going to have a good life.
Yeah.
That child is going to be struggling.
There are those situations.
Whether the mother was on drugs the whole time, or if she's in a bad, relationship or whatever,
Sometimes
and then that's
it
just
just doesn't
gonna,
work out too.
right. And that's my thing. So I understand both sides of the table here. But it's just real hard to say this is the definitive answer. This is the one that we're going with. You
Right.
can't do it. I don't think you can do it. I don't think it's right.
I think it depends on, the person and the situation, honestly. I think, whatever happens in life and it happens to you, you just try to do the best you can. If that's the choice that you're going to make the right one.
Absolutely. I mean, it's crazy. It is. It's just, I don't know. It gets my brain going because I try to always step in somebody else's shoes.
Right. I was just going to say that. Do you ever try to put yourself in that situation?
I do. I
Right.
do. Like, my mom's adopted.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I understand where for some people it could totally work out for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because we met her biological parents.
Right.
And let me tell you what, son. Well, not her biological parents. We met her biological family.
Right.
Some of them, very cool. Others, not so much.
Right.
And then it gets you thinking, well, okay, what kind of person would my mother have been if she hung out and was raised with the people who weren't so good?
Oh, exact.
You know what I
feelings.
mean?
Yeah. I had
So
those,
it's-
those exact.
But then
feelings.
again, she could have been with that family and have been with the people who were good
Right.
and been fine.
Right.
There'd have been
True.
no problem. So it's really, I get where it's touch and go. I definitely get it. But I mean, okay, let me ask you, in all honesty, if you would have ended up somewhere where they abused you and stuff,
Right.
okay, do you think that it would have been better for you just to have been terminated? I mean, obviously, you're alive. You don't want to say
Yeah.
that you never had a life,
I
but you get
feel
what
as
I
though,
mean.
depending on my story, if I made it, if I was willing to be better than what, better than what I was at that time, I feel as though if I got put in that position, maybe,
Maybe.
because I
Right.
feel as though knowing me, that probably would have been a lot. And
You could have been a menace to society.
exactly
Straight up.
out here.
And that's what I'm saying.
Out
and
here.
So, and
You
Right,
feel me? Like
right,
it's just like
right.
maybe at that point, maybe, bro.
And see,
honestly.
and that's what I think about. It's like, and if you're man enough to be able to say, look, if I was, this could have gone way down.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And even to build on top of that, I mean, I don't need to divulge too much about you, but it's not like you got adopted to what people consider an ordinary family.
Oh no.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You
Far
can
from
probably
ordinary.
elaborate more on that.
Far from ordinary. I had two moms my whole life, so I never had that dad figure. Well, I had people that tried to play the dad figure. This is what men do. Those type of fellas, but it never. I never really had that. Yo, let's go outside and play catch. You know what I'm saying? So, my life, I feel like I had a good life. I had the book smart mom, and then I had the street smart mom. So I had the best of both worlds.
Right. And I've met both of them, and they are. That's
Yeah,
literally
I mean,
what you had. You had
exactly.
a very book smart mom, and then you had a mom that, you know what I'm saying? If it
You know
came
what I
down, if
mean?
it came down time to pack the Cadillac, we're
Right,
going,
yeah,
bro.
you know what I
She's
mean?
it.
So yeah, man, I feel as though that was the best thing for me. Adoption. That was the best thing for me.
So you think that okay? So you're another example of somebody who has met. I believe you met your.
I met my real dad
Okay.
and my real mom. Well, my biological mom.
So you
I'll say
have met
that.
your mom.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember when
yes.
you and my my sister went and met your biological dad. I remember that.
Uh-huh.
I did not remember you meeting your biological mom.
Yeah, I met her when I was 18.
No shit.
Yeah, at my sister's house, my real sister's house.
Okay.
And they were just chilling on the couch, and I walked past them because I didn't even know who it was. I mean, I had no idea. And I walked in the kitchen, and she was like, "You know that's your parents right there, right?" I'm like, "Damn,
Wow.
Like,
So that
and-
you didn't even look at them and like see any of yourself in them at all?
I mean, like honestly, like I've seen two people on the couch, and knowing me back then, I just walked past. I just
Right.
walked past them. So like getting in the kitchen, I turn around and I was like, damn, bro, like if you look at me and my dad, and then like you throw like a touch of my mom in there, like that's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. If you see like me and like my dad, like we look just alike. I feel as though we look just alike.
Right, yeah, I've seen the pictures. You guys do resemble. He looks like what you look like when you're going to be 70.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's literally what it was.
Right,
It was
right,
funny.
right.
So okay, so after you met them and everything, like did it ever cross your mind like, okay, maybe it would have been a little bit cooler if I was with them, or like if I would have stayed with them?
Good example. Father's Day. I go see my father. First Father's Day I've ever had, with my dad. Went to his crib, kicked it with him, chilled with him. My mom came and picked me up afterwards, and I got in the car, and I just like, yo, thank you. She was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, phew, thank you for like picking me up that day. You know what I mean? Like out of all the
no
kids
shit.
that you could have picked up, phew, thank you for picking me up. Could not have lived this life.
And see, that's what I'm saying.
know what I
Like,
mean?
so when it comes down to it, there are people who could have these great lives going through adoption.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
So, but I'm not gay. But I've seen pictures of you as a kid. You was a cute kid. Okay, here's the thing. I've seen some ugly ass kids. Okay, I'm not lying. I've seen some
I was a
ugly
handsome
ass
kid,
kids.
yo.
Okay, so here's the thing. What about that ugly ass kid?
I mean, you never know.
That dude, it makes me feel like they're fucking animals at that point, dude.
Nah.
That's why I'm saying, like, it's crazy. You're gonna go in and you're gonna shop for a child. Like, to me, that is kind of nuts.
Well, think about it like this. Think about people who can't have kids and want kids.
Right.
They need an option too, right?
See, I don't think that if you want to get adoption, I don't think you should be able to have. It's not an option. You go in and you're adopting a child, right? You're not picking your child.
Oh, you think like next in line, something like that?
Yep.
Oh, come on, bro. You can't do people like
How
that.
many fucking 15 and 16-year-olds you think are in the adoption program that can't even fucking, you know what I mean? That can't get adopted. I mean, who wants to go pick up a 15-year-old girl who the first night you bring home is going to scream in your face or something, you know what I mean? Who's going through these life changes.
Those are people who have love deep, deep in their heart.
That's like the movie. What was the movie that with Mark Wahlberg? Have you seen that? The
What is that,
movie
like,
where he goes and get kids?
All Family Now or something,
Something like
Family
that.
Now
Well, yeah,
or-
they go and
yeah.
he picks up the girl, and then her brother and sister
Oh,
are like,
he loved kids. He wanted kids. You feel me? He loved kids.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So there are people out there who
Yeah.
could definitely do it.
right.
But I think it's so messed up that you're going and you're shopping for kids.
You gotta stop seeing it shopping. You gotta see it as people who've maybe been through a lot or who are adopted themselves and want to give back.
Okay.
You gotta
Let-
think about people
Let me
like
ask you
that.
this then, okay?
Uh-huh.
Besides the time of the process, okay,
Long process, by the way.
right? Besides that, we're going to throw that out the window, okay?
Okay.
What is the difference between me going and getting a dog from the rescue pound and somebody going and getting a child from an orphanage? What's the difference? Like really, besides the amount of time it takes to do it. Right. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It
you got
kinda,
me
it
on
kinda,
that
it
one.
kinda, and the thing is, I've never adopted anybody, so I don't know.
You're making me feel like a dog right now.
Tech Rob over here chiming in. I don't think it's so much as looking for a dog. Usually, I've noticed a lot. You want to pick one that's the best right fit for you and for them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You want them to feel comfortable with you. It's not really.
And you
so
don't
much,
do that with an animal. You being somebody that has picked up
not
dogs from
not
there?
that deep. Not that deep. You'd be like, oh, this
Okay.
dog likes to play with us. No, it's deeper than that. You know what I mean?
It's a connection.
It's-
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
it's
Well, what
a-
if?
it's a-
Okay. Perfect example. What if there's a kid out there who has trouble having connections with people? What if he's got a real or she has like a real messed up brain and they're not able to jump in? You know what I mean? They can't just jump over to somebody and say, "Hey, how you doing?" You know what I mean? My name is Sam. I'm 3. I'm
You
trying
have to break
talk.
that barrier. You have to be the one that's spending weeks looking at potential children that would be a good fit for your life and it'd be a good fit for their life.
But my my thing is, what about the rest of them? What about the? So you're telling me
more people
this?
need to be out there getting more
Yeah,
kids
man.
adopted, man.
It needs to be a thing that brought to the table. Adoption.
So you honestly think, right? You honestly think that there is a family out there for every kid in adoption?
I
and
didn't,
I-
I
and
didn't
look-
say that. I didn't say that.
Okay, that's what I'm
Whoa,
asking
whoa.
though.
Whoa. What I'm saying is people take the opportunity to, better other kids' lives.
Okay.
So I get what you're saying, shopping or taking a risk, and I get that. But at the same time, you do have those people out there that's just trying to make somebody else's life easier, bro. You dig what I'm saying? I think at that point you kind of gamble with it. It's a gamble.
Okay. I get that. And then, see, that's what I was talking about in the beginning. I just think it's a little rough that it really shouldn't be a gamble or a risk when it comes to somebody's kid.
Right.
I mean, I understand where it can have its plus sides.
Right.
I totally get
It does
that.
have its plus sides.
It's just, I don't know, man. I just, at the end of it, it's too much.
Right.
I think to well round my opinion, it would go like this. A, government shouldn't be in it.
Okay.
It should be scenario based. And at the end of the day, I think that there needs to be constant checkups on these houses. You know what I mean? I'm sure that there are some type of checks or whatever.
Not thorough.
I think they need to be very thorough.
Yeah, of course.
Right. So like you being in it, like give me an example of how they would have checked up on you like 3 or 4 years in. Or like would they even at that point?
No, nobody came to check up on me.
Really?
Yeah.
So like was there ever a time where they came and checked up on you?
No.
Not even well, I mean like not even when you were a baby?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, sorry.
Why
I'm
does
not
that
trying to I'm
surprise
not
you?
trying to have huge like pauses here, but like
Yeah.
yeah, that kind of blows my mind.
Yeah, no, I mean, not trying to like say it was like a bat. Like, yeah, nobody came and like, hey, how's he doing?
So that's it. Okay, so let me just throw this. I mean, you were a baby, so I guess it was different, but here's how it
Right.
looks in my head. You're in the adoption agency. Your parents come in, quote unquote, shopping for a child. They pick you because you were a cute baby. Okay? You come home. Nobody ever comes to see if you're okay.
No, I think at that point, they pretty much knew I was in good hands.
How?
It was the 90s.
Yeah, but still, I don't.
I just
I
messed
don't
with
care.
you.
I don't care if it was in the 80s. At the
I
end of
feel
the,
you.
if you're in the adoption agency and you're giving these kids out, you know what I
Mhm.
mean, and you're making sure that they go to good homes, I'm definitely thinking that you're gonna have to go check on them a few times.
I think in certain situations, people are sent out there to check on, the kid or the situation or how's the family and things like that.
Okay,
I
but
don't know why they didn't. I mean, I'm not complaining.
okay,
I was
but
cool.
well,
I was chilling.
what if these kids are like groomed? Like, what if they're groomed to be a certain way? You know what I mean? Like, okay, okay, say there's this guy and he's fostering kids or whatever, and it's a guy, which first off, I automatically think is kind of weird.
Why?
Okay, if there's one guy and he's fostering a bunch of kids, I think it's weird.
There are men out there that foster
Yeah,
many kids.
and I'm sure there are great guys out there who do that, and they're
Right.
probably really good people, and they, you know what I mean? I understand that. Personal opinion, I think it's a little weird. Okay, that's just me. But what I'm saying is, okay, let's say that there is this guy, okay, and he's
Uh-huh.
adopting kids, and he's taking them home, and let's say he's grooming them to do some real fucked up shit. I know nobody ever wants to hear this, but it's shit that really happens.
Right.
Nobody ever goes there to make sure they're okay. And then the thing is, like you said, if there's situations where, somebody goes to check on them, like, like let's say, what is the place that Child Protective Services? Let's say CPS goes out there and they're going to check the house. What if these kids are groomed to know that if CPS comes to the house, they better shut the fuck up?
That's the gamble.
It's not a good gamble. Listen, I'm a gambler, okay? Love blackjack. I'm folding. I'm folding every
You
time.
gamble every day waking up.
Yeah, okay, but I'm an adult. I can do that. I can wake up every morning if I wanted to and go race cars down the opposite side of the road every morning.
That is
That's
true.
a gamble.
That is
But
true.
I'm an adult. I have the sensibility to make that decision if I want to, because guess what? At the end of the day, I know the outcome. A child does not. Child does not have the wisdom, nor do they have the knowledge in order to figure out what's going to happen to them if they're in a bad scenario, or to look out for certain warning signs like, if this guy's got, you know what I mean, a whole room with just a mattress sitting on there, maybe I
Listen.
should call somebody.
It's a gamble both ways. The kid is looking for a new home, a great family. It might not turn out that way. The adult or the parents are looking for a great kid, a kid to raise. He might be crazy as shit.
Okay.
It's just it's a gamble, bro. It's
Okay,
just life.
question.
Uh-huh.
The 2-year-old kid. Do you think a 2-year-old kid's really looking for a family?
No, but I'm pretty sure that the people who are looking after him want him to go to a good family. I'm just saying it's a gamble either way.
I know. I don't like gambling with kids. I don't like that.
I'm glad they rolled the dice with me.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I can see you and I can see, okay, I understand why gambling it would be okay. Still doesn't make me feel comfortable with it. Like, okay, for example, like if things were to go tremendously downhill, and at some point in time, my sister had to, she had to fucking get rid of my niece, I would not be okay with that.
Right. I
I
mean,
would not be okay with that.
listen, certain situations, certain people, it is what it is, I just feel as though you can't always, I guess, have your opinion and judge. I feel as though it's just, certain situations, certain people. That's just the way life is. I'm glad that somebody took the choice with me and let me do my thing, you feel me?
I hear you. It's just, I don't know, man. It's a hard thing to talk about, and I get why people don't like talking about it, and
Right.
I understand why people look at one side of the story, and then all of a sudden they run straight into, well, this is my opinion on it because this is all I know.
Right,
I understand that. I get that. Most of the time, that's what most people, sensible people do. If that's the only information you have on it, then that's what you're going off of.
right.
But even when you have both sides of the story, I mean, this is still one of those turmoils where you really can't pick a side.
Plus,
You
it's,
really can't.
I think it's one of those things, too, where, I feel this way now until you're in that situation.
Right.
And you could feel totally different.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
I mean, I don't know where I would ever get in that situation. I'm 26. I highly doubt anybody wants to adopt me. But the offer is open. Anybody out there who wants to adopt a 26-year-old stud, you most certainly can.
That's a gamble.
I'm way high.
Don't take it.
Listen, no, it's not a gamble.
That's a
This is a
gamble.
gamble. Listen. The dealer is showing a 3, okay? And you got 21.
I
You're
feel you.
good.
I feel you.
That's what I'm saying, man. But let's really think about. Okay, let's think about it like this. Let me throw a little twist on there.
Twist
okay,
it.
because we did post up a little poll asking what people wanted us to talk about,
Right.
and we did have a lot of '90s stuff, right? So let's encompass this with the kids because technically, I mean, we were kids in the '90s,
Okay.
right? There's no way in hell they were doing what they were supposed to do in the '90s when it came to this kind of stuff.
Oh, no.
No way.
No way.
No way. No way. They were probably just like, oh, we got like 300 kids in this place. You want one or two?
I mean, but think about it. Like, the 90s, it was different.
Was a lot different.
It was a lot different. You could, leave your front door open. Like if you had a screen door and a front door, you could leave, the front door open with the screen door closed. That's what I'm not saying you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, back then, you could do stuff like that.
You could have the screen door closed, and it might deter somebody who doesn't have a knife.
Right. Yeah. Like stuff like that. Like it was just cool back then. Like I don't remember having a lot of babysitters.
No, I had
Back
family
then.
members that would be babysitters, and they would be just as young.
Or
you
it'd be
know what I mean?
like,
a couple
hey,
years older.
Lock the store. Don't let nobody in here. We'll be back.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
Real talk.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
that was back then.
Yeah, I get that. Things were a lot better back then.
A lot better.
Oh my God. Do you remember Dunkaroos?
Yeah, man.
Wasn't a fan.
What?
I'm not gonna lie. I bring it up like I was, but I wasn't.
You didn't like Dunkaroos?
No, dude.
None of the flavors.
Nope. None of
You
the
could
flavors
just
of Dunkaroos I was
take
into.
it out.
You know what I
Dunk
was
it.
into? I was into the cheese sticks with the little pieces of bread.
Are you
the
serious?
Little, the
That
little
was the
sticks,
wackest
crackers,
shit
and the
ever.
cheese. No, it wasn't.
Yes,
No,
it was.
wasn't. I eat that fake cheese up.
Yes, it was.
That shit was so good.
That was whack.
Nah, come on now. That was not whack.
That was something good.
That was
I
not
remember,
whack.
I remember-
Dunkaroos was whack.
No, I remember Surge.
Oh, the drink?
Yeah.
Well, they brought that back, just like they're trying to do with fucking everything from the 90s.
Because the 90s was good. Yo, the
Yeah.
90s was good.
Yeah, I get it, right? But that's just people aren't going to understand it that weren't from that time period in my eyes.
Right.
Like, okay, right? Like me and you, we can't say that we fully understand, say, Sammy Davis Jr. Okay?
No.
We can listen to the music, but we don't quite get the same feeling
Right,
that
right,
they
right,
got when
right,
they were listening to
right,
it back in his
exactly.
day. So you know what? All these kids born in 2000s, you don't deserve the 90s stuff.
Talk to him.
Okay? You don't deserve it.
You don't deserve Biggie.
Stick to the Dora, okay?
Tupac.
Yeah, stick to all those things that were in the early 2000s. Just chill on that, you know
Right.
what I mean? And sit back, and then in 10, 15 years,
What's
20
your-
years, you can talk about that and enjoy
What's your
it.
favorite thing from the 90s?
My favorite thing
What's
from
your
the 90s?
favorite thing from the 90s?
Oh, man, that's a hard one. Okay, if we're talking toys,
Okay.
it was moon shoes.
Moon shoes?
If you don't know what moon shoes are, they were the little round oval shoes that you put on. They had springs in them.
Get the
And
fuck
you could
outta
walk
here.
around in them joints, and they were dope.
I never
Favorite-
had a pair of moon shoes.
Easily my favorite toy. Okay, now if you're talking music,
Uh-huh.
Nirvana.
Okay.
Let's be real. That's probably my favorite 90s music.
Right.
Now, if we're talking food, okay, my favorite food from the 90s, man, that's hard. That's a hard one. Because I mean, I'm trying to think of like different things that were out in the 90s. that
Bazooka
you can-
bubble gum.
You can still get bazooka bubble gum.
No, like did I say yeah, Bazooka. Bazooka was the one with the comic strip in it, right? Which one was that? That was
that
Bazooka.
Bazooka?
Thank you.
It was? It
Yeah,
was bazooka?
it had the comic strip in it. You take the
Okay.
wrapper off. It's
Do
a
you
whole
guys
comic.
remember the 3D Doritos?
No.
Yes.
Oh,
What?
Yeah.
They were like
Favorite
puffed.
Doritos.
They were like
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, and they came in different shapes.
Yeah.
No, it was
No,
just it was just a
see-
blowed up chip.
Hang on, am I
Yeah.
thinking of the Cheetos? I'm thinking of the
guy.
Cheetos that came with like the circle with the X in it.
It,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
It was
Aw,
like
man.
a big ass chip, but it was like puffed.
Were honeycombs from the 90s?
Yes, they came out 90s. I feel like honeycombs was definitely 90s.
I did like honeycombs. I don't know if they were the 90s. You see, that's the thing. I'm a 90s baby, but I can't really. I can't decipher from like 94, I was born, till about 2000, like 2.
Was Smacks
like
in
that
the
time
90s?
is all one. What?
Smacks. Y'all remember Smacks?
Honey Smacks.
Smacks with the frog on the front. Y'all remember that?
Yeah. Oh, they might have been 90s.
Oh my gosh.
Honey Smacks were good too.
I didn't like the aftertaste.
Ah,
I didn't like the
fuck
aftertaste.
some
Like,
Smacks up.
What?
Like Lisa can eat fucking corn puffs, and that's fucking disgusting.
Oh, like
I love
Pops?
corn
Yeah, like corn
pops.
pops.
Oh, I can't do that.
Yo,
That's whack.
that's right. Fucking Jesse Pinkman from fucking Breaking Bad was in the old Pops commercial. You remember that? He's like the unruly
don't know. I don't
teenager.
remember that.
You don't remember that? That was a 90s commercial. You got Jesse Pinkman sitting there eating the things, and he's like, I just want my Pops. And it's like, pop, pop, pop. And shit is so tight. And then later on, he decided to make a show with fucking Bryan Cranston about selling meth. That's great, dude. That's great.
You know what I remember? Like seeing like the technology and shit that we have like nowadays. Like now you can just like FaceTime somebody.
Oh, man, that would have blew my mind.
I remember like my mom's like her car phone. Did your mom have a car phone? Anybody you knew had a car phone?
No, we did not have car. I
What?
know what you're talking about. I've been in cars with car phones, but we did not have a car phone.
Like I remember like a car phone. I'm like, are you calling somebody right now? Oh,
reach down in the center console and pick up that brick.
exactly. Like, are you calling somebody right now?
Oh, dude, I remember like when you actually used home phones. Like, it'd be funny as shit when the family would all get around the fucking thing and do the message. It'd be like, "Hi, you've reached the Stevensons, and this is Tommy, this is Blake." You know what I'm saying? It'd be funny as shit.
Yeah, that's crazy. House phones. Nobody has a house phone anymore.
House phones are gone.
Yeah.
I don't remember. You know who calls my house at my mom's house phone? Like, that's the thing. At my house, we don't even have a house phone.
Right.
Completely X that
Yeah,
off.
I don't have a
It's
house
almost
phone.
like Verizon gives you a cheaper bill if you're trying to get a house phone. You know what I mean? But look, so at my mom's house, right? When people call there, she laughs her ass off because you answer it every single time. It's a telemarketer now.
Right.
It is never a person. And if it is a person, it's somebody looking for my grandmother who like passed away 10 years ago.
Damn.
Straight up. Like that's the only time that I've had an actual person on the phone. And there's just because they're trying to get a hold of my grandmother. Like, well, we ain't got a phone that goes that high.
Speaking of phones, you remember like 411?
Yeah, I remember 411 star 67 star 69.
Yeah.
Yeah, in case you don't know, that's how I used to figure out who was calling you, and then if you didn't want anybody to know who was
Right.
that you were calling, you'd use the other one.
That's some 90s shit right there.
Oh yeah, 90s were great.
Yeah.
I had a blast.
What's the toys? What's the toy like you feed it, and you like watch it like grow?
Tamagotchi.
Tamagotchi.
Yep.
I had like 4 of them.
I want to
things.
say that dribbled in No Name. Didn't that like dribble into the 2000s? Like early
Yeah, that might have
2000s?
been late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, I was thinking that was kind of that's got to be like late 90s.
What?
They're trying to bring that back too. Have you guys seen the commercials for that? Like they're trying to bring that thing back again. Like listen. In this day and age, you can probably just go get something that's really close to being a pet and then just take care of it instead of having this little keychain that you walk around with and half of them
That's
die.
I was the dope part about it though. Like back in the day, like
Oh, I gotta feed my pet.
Right. Yeah. And now it's not even real pets. Like they got a unicorn, a dinosaur.
it wasn't
And
real
something
pets
else.
back then.
I thought it was. It was like dogs and cats.
That was like the first series, and then it was like you could raise an alien
Yeah.
and like some
A
other
little
shit.
pixelated 8-bit.
Yeah.
That's what
I
I'm saying. I think that's stupid. Like you can go buy a 3DS right now, like one of the little Nintendo 3DSs, and you can get a game where you take care of a cat or whatever.
Right.
So why the hell would you want to do it on one of them little things again?
Just it's retro. You bring it back.
No, it's because we gloat about the '90s all the time,
'Cause
and
it
these
was the
little
best.
no, and these stubborn ass younger people are like, I want to try that, so let me make a version, and it fucking sucks. It's never gonna be as cool as it was then.
True.
Oh,
I
no
agree
way.
with that.
OG
do you,
console, the Nintendo 64.
Oh man, that was the OG.
No.
Yeah, and you
For
see
us?
that's the thing.
No.
Everybody,
For us, it
everybody
was.
always tries to
No.
say the Atari or like
I'm not
the,
that old.
Dreamcast.
Don't
and
ever
shit.
don't do Atari on me.
Well, then what are you
Don't do
trying to
that.
say?
I'm not that
Nintendo
old.
One.
Super Nintendo.
No,
Is the OG.
it's not the OG though.
Yes, it is.
It was a good segue into what gaming could be, but once you got those 3D characters and stuff like on Nintendo 64, that really
See,
evolutionized
you don't
gaming.
appreciate it. You don't appreciate it.
Okay, put right here, real quick. You know what well, at least last time I looked at it, the number one game in the world is
What?
It was Zelda: Ocarina of Time. For the longest time, that was the number one game in the world, and it was a Nintendo 64 game. It was like the best game in the world. Nothing could get better than it. The graphics, the way it was designed, the levels, everything. Guess what?
Whatever.
Primo 90s technology right there. Primo. You cannot
Don't-
get better
Whatever.
than that.
Don't believe you.
Okay,
Anyways,
if I wanted to see Mario run along a flat wall, dude, I'd fucking play
show
Paper
some respect.
Mario on
Show-
something else.
Show some respect.
Listen, I'm a plumber. I get him.
You wouldn't have had that Zelda if it wasn't for Mario.
Talk to him. Let him know.
I don't know.
Let him know.
I don't know.
Come on, man.
I feel like Zelda would have found its
Put
way.
on Street Fighter right now. I beat that ass. Like, come on, man. Put it on right now. Beat that ass.
I'm a more of a Mortal Kombat kind of guy.
Yeah, that's
so.
cool. I mean, I figured you would be, but nah, man. That Super Nintendo was my shit, man.
What was Duck Hunt on?
That was on regular Nintendo.
Yeah,
So that was even
And
before
you got,
Super
yeah.
Nintendo.
you got a gun.
Yeah, and
See,
you
I
got a
did
gun.
like that.
Yeah.
I did like that.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool. Yeah, I had a buddy when I was, God, like probably, I don't know, right in like middle school or whatever, and his mom set up a projector in his room, and you could
What?
only play the Nintendo games. So we would be playing the Duck Hunt projected on this big ass wall, dude. It was a good time.
That's pretty
And I
dope.
mean, I was probably like probably 13, 14 then, so I
And you
definitely enjoyed
appreciated
then.
it then. You should
Yeah.
appreciate it now.
Yeah, but I appreciated the GameCube I got like 3 weeks later a whole lot more.
I ain't gonna lie, GameCube was
GameCube jumped off, man.
Yeah, GameCube. I thought it was gonna be bigger than what it was.
Nah, I thought once I seen how small the discs were, I figured it is going to be pretty
Right.
quick. This is going to be in and out.
Remember how you're just getting into that GameCube, right? And you're super young, and it's like the first time you ever played some kind of scary game, playing Resident Evil. Remember how scared you were lurking around corners in Resident Evil on fucking GameCube?
That's crazy you say that. Resident Evil didn't scare me as bad because I used to play with adults and stuff. You know what really messed me up? The first 5 minutes of the first Max Payne. Do you
Okay, I
guys
don't
remember that?
Don't
Okay,
remember that.
the first Max Payne game, dude, you literally, you're Max Payne, you're walking in your house, he like unlocks the door, he's like, honey, I'm home. And all you hear is all these like feet and shit running around the top floor. And he's like, what's going on? And he walks like super slow. Like you have the fucking forward, like little analog stick as far as you can trying to get this guy to run. He's walking super slow up the steps, dude. And then you walk in a room and there's a guy in there just shooting your wife, shooting your kid, dude.
Damn.
And I'm a child watching this like, oh man.
Damn.
Yeah, because we just put it in. We were never allowed to play it, right? And then
Ratchet ass
me
game.
and two of my friends, right? It was their dad's game. We
Uh-huh.
were like, fuck it, we're putting this bitch in. Just like the guy game, if you remember the guy game. We played this. We just wanted to know what was on it. And the first 5 minutes, that's what happened. We all turned it off. We're like, no,
That's why.
not into that. Yeah, and then you play Resident Evil. It wasn't that bad. That shit was crazy in Max Payne.
Speaking of like, video games, we talking 90s. All right, Friday. Where you going? Blockbuster or Hollywood Videos?
Blockbuster.
Get the fuck out of here.
You went to
I
Hollywood?
went to Hollywood.
Dude, the only people I remember walking out of Hollywood, man, I thought yuppies went to Hollywood.
What? They had everything I needed. Man, Blockbuster was always out because somebody had it and kept
why
it,
he
didn't
went.
bring it back. Like
I forgot how great his childhood was. He got to go to Hollywood Vehicle. My man got Nikes when he went to school. You know what I had, dude? I would be happy to get like the classier Skechers.
Hey, yo, don't
up at
play me
Walmart.
like that,
I'm
bro.
not playing you, but it's true, yo. You still you have the same tendencies now. Like, oh, I don't want to wear that. Why? It's just not me. It's $4,
Nah,
but I'll wear that.
nah,
Why you
bro.
want to wear that? I don't know. It's $45.
No. One, that's like, okay. When I was younger, that's how I thought about life. But now that I'm getting older, bills and shit like that, if the $4, if it fits and it matches, I'll probably wear it. If it's $4.
Okay, well, let's take the scene right where we are right now. I'm wearing a very well-worn gray V-neck. You're
Okay.
wearing a Supreme hoodie.
Oh, don't do that, bro. Don't.
Let's just go. Let's just bring it down to where we are right this second. And you know what? If I were to put on the hoodie, I have one, right? Watch this. Ready? Boom. All of a sudden, it's a hoodie I've had for 6 years.
No,
Same Under Armour hoodie.
Yeah, I was gonna say it is Under Armour though.
It's Under Armour.
You know?
Yeah, but
you could have had a Champion hoodie. Why
Exactly.
you gotta have an Under Armour?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
but the softest part of the hoodie feels like sandpaper now. Like the inside of the hoodie where your arm is, and all,
That's
it feels
your
like
fault.
sandpaper.
Then.
No, it's
I
not.
can't.
It's
I
just-
can't help that.
It's had some use.
That's your
There's
fault.
things such as dry cleaning that will keep clothes in perfect condition.
Right. I'll tell you what, I wish I would have held on to a lot of the stuff I had from the 90s.
Yeah.
Because you see how much that stuff costs now? That stuff is like ridiculously expensive.
Because
a lot
man,
of the stuff.
the value.
Dude, I got a GameCube like 5 or 6 years ago.
Uh-huh.
It cost me $80 for the GameCube, and then I got the Zelda. It was like a deluxe version, and that was $70. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And then I looked it up online. Neither one. Well, the GameCube was like $100 when it came out, or something like that, 120. But the game was only like $40.
Right.
Almost paid double.
Because of the
I mean, I did buy it.
yeah, because of the value. I mean, think about look at all these like retro video game stores. There's like hundreds of them now because everybody wants that. They want that old school. They want that retro. They want that vintage. You know what I mean? It has value now. That's why the '90s were so great.
Yeah, I wish we could go back sometimes.
Tech Rob, build us a time machine.
Build us a time machine.
Yeah, let's go back.
Yeah, we need to go back to
98.
collect a whole shit ton of Pokemon cards. Yo, have you seen?
Yeah.
Have you seen how much money those things are
Nah,
now, dude?
how much
bro?
money is-
So like Logan Paul just bought like these. I think they're called like PSR 10s or something like that.
Uh-huh.
It's a rating
So-
system.
Right, it's a rating system for quality and age and anyway. So like some of these cards, I mean, they're 150 grand. There's some Charizard first edition holographics, dude, that are worth like 10 mil
For a Pokemon
for
card.
a Pokemon card.
I should have
dude.
kept them shit.
Yep. That's fucking wild, man.
I got older, seen a fat ass, and was like, "Fuck Pokemon cards."
I'm not gonna lie. I got out of Pokemon cards because of Yu-Gi-Oh. I got into the. I like the monsters more. I like the monsters so much, and then I got out of that because I got into Beyblade.
Don't make
And
fun.
then
of-
I got out of that because I got into Tech Deck. I was one of those kids who had a new hobby like every
you
week.
look like you had a tech deck.
All right, well, yeah, I did have a Tech Deck. I did 100%. Had every single one of them taken away from me in school. Okay, so I don't have any more. I bet you they are probably worth some money. But we're gonna keep on rambling. But before we get out of here, Dave, can you tell us the games of the week real quick so we can just at least round that out? See if there's anything worth watching this week.
Games of the week, we got the Broncos, Patriots,
That's
Yeah.
okay.
That's okay.
I probably won't watch it.
Browns, Steelers. It's a
No.
big
It's a
AFC
division
North
game,
division
yeah.
game.
Yeah, they're all tied.
No, no. Us and the Ravens and the Browns are tied. The Steelers have sole position at number 1. They're undefeated.
No shit. That's right. They
Damn.
are undefeated. Okay.
But fuck both of those teams. Then we got the Bengals and the Colts.
Yeah.
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 Lions, Jaguars.
Yeah.
Texans, Titans.
Yeah.
The Washington football team and the Giants.
Trash.
New York sucks at football.
Best team in the NFL, Ravens versus Eagles.
Well, I don't know about all
Negative.
that. That's a good game.
Falcon, just shut the fuck up. Falcons, Vikings. Bears, Panthers.
Fuck
Okay.
the Bears.
Jets, Dolphins. Rams, 49ers. Chiefs, Bills. Cardinals, Cowboys. And what I think is the game of the week, I cannot wait to watch it. The Packers versus the Bucks.
Let me hear it. Go, Pack. Go, baby.
One more time, Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, you know, this is their third meeting.
Battle of the 12s.
I love it. Dude, I get so stoked when Aaron Rodgers gets to play somebody worth it, but it's like they don't actually play against each other, so it really don't matter. It really don't matter at the end of the day. But once again, go, Pack, go. So, I guess that being said, that about wraps it up for Chocolate Milk today. Hope you enjoyed your glass.
Yeah.
So, Rob, give us some social medias.
So make sure you go out and check us out on the chocolatemilkpodcast.net. We got some merch coming up here soon, maybe about January or so. Dave, what other platforms we on?
Yeah. Hit us on all of the social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram. We're both at the Chocolate Milk Podcast. Twitter's got to be difficult because some asshole took the perfect name that would have been easy for us. So Twitter is at the Choc Milk Podcast.
That's it. So, from all of us here at Chocolate Milk, man, we hope you guys have a great week, and we'll see you next week. I'm Dave.
I'm busy. We out.